Welcome back, everybody, to Miniatures Rundown. Today we've got the next big kill team box, Brutal and Cunning, and we're going to have a look inside. Alright, in similar fashion to the end of last edition, we've got two kill teams, the Ork Rekka crew and the Ratlings from the Astra Militarum, and a kill zone upgrade, the Compound Siege. And, of course, some rules. But, let's take a look. Shipping was not too gentle with my box. But let's hope everything's in here. Looks like starting off, we've got our box of rules, tokens, data cards, and so on. They'll all be in here, but we'll get that opened up in a second here. If you've seen my unboxings before, you'll know that we take a quick look at the sprues. This one's an orc, but then we'll look at them in greater detail in a little bit here. That's the first orc sprue. Got the bases. And looks like two more frames of orcs. So 3 frames total from the looks of it. And this builds 8 models. And then this one is our Ratling. There's 2 frames of those. And this builds 10. And then we've got our terrain upgrade here. Again, this isn't a full table of terrain. It's just meant to supplement the Killzone Vulcus. You get 2 of these. They look identical. Yeah, they are. And then you've got some transfers for the orcs. None for the Ratlings. Interesting. Alright. And then on to the rules. So we've got our instructions here. And then the new dossier. Pretty run-of-the-mill instructions. I do like how in the newer instructions, they're starting to show you what every weapon does. Well, not what it does, but what it's called. So it'll have all the names, so if you're building and you're reading a list offline or something, or looking at a profile and not sure which weapon is which, this is a handy little guide. Ta-da! Bunch of different options for orcs. Which does mean, unfortunately, this is going to be one of those teams where you have to have 2 boxes to get all of your options. You can still build a whole team, but yeah. Same with the Ratlings. They got the little guide up there, even though most of their weapons seem pretty samey. These guys got some options too, but it looks like it's mostly just between a special operative and a basic sniper. Alright, and then here's the terrain. There's a few different ways to assemble certain ones. But yeah, that's the instructions. And then we got and we got the tokens here too. Got half the sheet is Ratlings, half the sheet is Orks. So it's hard to get a glare. But yeah, so you use these to mark certain abilities that they might have. Not required, but does help. We got the Ratlings on this side. And then next up, we got the Brutal and Cunning dossier. This is going to have the rules, the lore, all your profiles and whatnot, some pictures of the models. Important note is that you don't need this book for rules anymore. Kill Team did something huge with this new edition where rules are free online. And I mean, the app is a glorified PDF viewer, but free rules are free rules. So you don't need the book like you used to in last edition. It is still fun to have. I mean, it is a convenient place for all your rules, for the Orks and Ratlings at least. But, yeah. The cards are more convenient, and the app is, of course, free. But one thing this book does have that the cards won't, and I don't believe are online, is the rules for the terrain that comes in this box, which in this particular box turns Volcus into one big building. It seems pretty fun. These missions typically don't reach competitive, but it's still fun to have. They even have a PvE and solo mission in here. And there are the maps. But, yeah. And there's your terrain rules. And then next up, we've got the cards. So these are the cards I was just talking about. You can buy these individually, not for these teams yet, unless you're watching this in a couple of months, but they should be for sale separately. They're typically around like $30. So there's $60 worth of cards right here. But yeah, these are going to have all of your team profiles on it. This is your team composition card. So this is how you know what you can bring. Your faction rules, faction equipment, strategy ploys, firefight ploys, and your token guide, and the universal equipment. Again, these are all going to be free on the Kill Team app. I'm pretty sure they're already on there at time of recording. But it is handy to have these. They're a little expensive if you buy them individually, but it saves yourself some phone battery and having to navigate through the app. You just have the cards laid out in front of you. It's nice. And then you've got your Orc one as well. But that's it for the paper. Let's get on to the plastic. Alright, and then first up we have the Orks. This is the Wreck-It Crew. It builds 6 Orks and 2 bomb squigs. The sprues are packed full of rockets and hammers, and sometimes rockets that are hammers, or hammers that are rockets. Yeah, this kit looks like it's packed full of a ton of fun bits, different options. You build your boss knob. He's got a couple different options for weapons, and then you build a special Break-A-Boy Demolisher, and he's the guy with the rocket hammer, and then the Break-A-Boy Crusher. He's the one with the dual-wielding power fist type things. And then the Tank Buster Rocketeer. And then you just fill out the rest of your team with generic Tank Busters or Break-A-Boys. And then that's where this kit gets to where it's kind of a 2-box kit. You can build a full team. You can get all your special operatives. But whether you want full Break-A-Boys or full Tank Busters, that's where either some magnetization's going to come into play, or you're going to need a second kit. Because if you build them all as generic Tank Busters, then you don't have any Break-A-Boys, and vice versa. My advice is if you already play Orks, you probably already have a couple boys with rocket launchers. Just run them as Tank Busters, and then build the Break-A-Boys until you can get a second kit at least. But overall, I think it looks fun. I can't wait. And then next up, we've got the Ratlings. There are 2 frames here. And because of their small size, they've managed to fit 11 models in here. So you get 10 Ratlings and a Battle Mutt, who's a cute little Ratling's best friend. This team focuses more on special operatives, unlike the Orc team. So, whereas they all have alternate build options, with this box you're probably going to want to build the special operative just to have the team composition there. But they've got the battle mutt, the big shot, the bomber, the hard bit, the raider, the sneak, the sniper, the spotter, the stash master, and the box thief. And then you can just, of course, build them all as generic Ratling snipers if you wanted to use them in 40k. But as far as kill team, the options are a little more straightforward. Until you get to the Ogren, which don't come in this box, but you do have the option to take 3 Ogren. So, whereas this box builds a complete kill team, it's unfortunately not a 1-box kill team overall. If you want all of your options, you're going to need a couple boxes of Ogren, which you probably will, because their stats are pretty crazy. But overall, again, looks like another fun kit. It's a very fast-moving, fun-looking team. They are pretty weak, but if you supplement a couple Ogrens in there, they can be a little tough. And just a heads up, I will be doing deep dives on both of these teams that go a little more into the rules and how they play. Those will be coming soon, so stay tuned. And then we've got the Volkus upgrade sprue here. It's called Compound Siege. And basically, it turns the Volkus terrain into one large building. I mean, you can use it for other things. It is 2 sprues. They are identical. But yeah, the mission pack looks pretty fun, because you just kind of cozy these up to the other terrain pieces, and it turns Volkus into one big building. And then the missions are, one team is defending the outpost, and the other one's trying to take the outpost. So, it's pretty cool. Usually these get sold separately. I'm not sure if this one will or not, because it's like an upgrade sprue, but maybe. But it's packed full of details. We've got different doors and little lookout points and whatnot, and they're just riddled with bullet holes. Does make me kind of sad that Kill Team kind of got rid of their narrative aspect, because I think that would be perfect for it. Anyway, that's Kill Team Brutal and Cunning. It MSRPs for about $140, so the value's definitely there, with single Kill Team boxes being about $70 on average now. So basically paying the price of the 2 teams, and then getting cards and a book, tokens. Well, the tokens come in the box now, but yeah, all the rest of it, and the terrain sprue. Definitely think the box is worth it. 2 fun teams. As an Orc player, Brutal and Cunning is both Orc terms, so I wonder what the Ratlings are supposed to be. But all jokes aside, if you made it this far, I super appreciate it. We also appreciate any likes, comments, and subscribes. It helps us keep us doing what we love doing, and that's talking about miniatures. Otherwise, stay tuned for those deep dives, and until then, we'll see you later.